Long before our world was mapped, long before electricity, engines, or machines, a question was born in the desert. A question shaped from stone. A question so large it could be seen from miles away. Tonight, we return to that question, not to solve it, but simply to follow its quiet trail. As the desert sleeps, as the stars drift over the Great Pyramid, we ask gently, without urgency, could this monument have been more than a tomb? Could it have been a mechanism? A silent structure built with purpose we no longer understand. Let's explore the idea together, slowly, quietly, one layer at a time. The Great Pyramid is a puzzle built from 2.5 million stones, yet every block seems to fit with intention. Its base is almost perfectly level, its alignment to the cardinal directions nearly flawless. For thousands of years, this precision has stirred the imagination. Were the builders simply honoring their pharaoh, or were they creating something that had to be exact? As we trace each stone, we find ourselves gently pulled toward deeper questions, not answers, just possibilities. The pyramid is not made of one material, but of layers. Soft limestone on the outside, dense limestone beneath, and deep inside, massive blocks of granite. Granite filled with crystal quartz, a mineral that responds to pressure and vibration. Why granite here? Why in the heart of the structure? Every layer feels deliberate, as if each material played its own quiet role. Inside the king's chamber, something unusual happens. A single tone, a simple hum, can echo through the room with strange strength. The granite vibrates softly, the air shifts, some frequencies bloom. It feels less like a chamber and more like a resonator, as if the room wasn't made just to hold a sarcophagus, but to hold a sound. The pyramid contains narrow shafts, tunnels so small no human could crawl through them. They point to the sky, but never fully emerge. Not ventilation, not escape routes, just silent corridors carved with precision to carry something. But what? Air, light, sound, or something we no longer measure? Below the pyramid, water flows quietly through natural channels. Some studies suggest that long ago, the water levels were higher, perhaps shifting, perhaps moving under pressure. Water moving through limestone can create tiny electrical effects. Water flowing beneath granite can encourage vibration. Was this simply geology, or part of a larger system? A forgotten harmony between architecture and nature? Treasures of copper appear throughout ancient Egypt. Tools, jewelry, wiring like coils. Not electricity, of course, but the material itself was precious, essential, mysteriously consistent in its use. Copper carries energy well. It always has. And in our story tonight, its presence becomes one more soft thread woven into the possibility of an ancient mechanism. Everything on Earth vibrates. Even the planet hums quietly with a natural frequency. The pyramid's geometry, its chambers, its angles seem to echo those frequencies. Was it coincidence? Or was resonance something the ancient builders understood in ways we no longer do? Resonance is gentle, subtle, but powerful. A whisper that can shape stone. When water moves, it can create ions. When air flows through narrow spaces, the same thing can happen. Some believe the pyramid's shafts and chambers could have encouraged these tiny electrical potentials. Not a power plant, not a battery in the modern sense, but perhaps a place where natural forces interacted in quiet complexity. A meeting point of water, stone, air, and time. Now, with all pieces on the table, we see a pattern forming. Granite that vibrates, limestone that channels, water that moves, ions that rise, copper that conducts, geometry that focuses. Individually, each detail is ordinary. Together, they create a whisper. What if this was more than a monument? Not a machine with gears, not a generator with wires, but a passive system, a silent architecture designed to work with nature, not against it. A mechanism made of Earth itself. The truth may never be known, and perhaps that is exactly why the pyramid still feels alive. It is a reminder that ancient people were not simple, nor primitive. They were observant, precise, and deeply connected to the world around them. Tonight, as the desert grows quiet and the sky gathers its stars, we leave the question open. Not solved, not closed, just gently set aside. Because sometimes the value is not in the answer, but in the wonder. So now, as the pyramid fades into the night, let your mind rest, not with certainty, but with curiosity. Maybe it wasn't a battery. Maybe it was something simpler, or something far more complex. Whatever it was built with intention and with hands that believed in purpose. And perhaps that purpose was never meant to be loud. Perhaps it was always meant to be quiet, just like tonight. Sleep well beneath the ancient question.